Hi, my name is Peyton Contine. Communication theorized as the socio-psychological tradition is theorized as a framework that examines communication as a process influenced by both individual and psychological factors and social contexts. It focuses on how people's mental processes like cognition, perception, emotions, and attitudes interact with social environments, such as norms, roles, and group dynamics, to shape communication behaviors. This tradition theorizes that communication can be understood through the examination of cause and effect relationships, where individuals' internal psychological states, like beliefs and motivations, influence how they send, interpret, and respond to messages within social settings. The theories within this tradition often assume that human behavior in communication can be predicted and explained by understanding these psychological and social factors. Researchers look for regular patterns in how people behave in communication situations, seeking to uncover universal principles about how communication works. The socio-psychological tradition thus theorizes communication as something that follows measurable, observable patterns, often using scientific methods to test hypotheses and develop generalizable conclusions about human interaction.
The problems of socio-psychological communication are theorized as a situation requiring manipulation of causes and behavior to achieve specified outcomes. There are also other issues such as subjunctive message interpretation, and cognitive and emotional barriers. Subjective message interpretation highlights how both senders and receivers filter messages through their own personal biases and experiences, while cognitive and emotional barriers tell us how limited mental resources and intense emotions can interfere in understanding what messages mean. One final thing to highlight is one issue that can really cause emotional problems. When you send a text message, emotions can shape how messages are received and interpreted.
Hi guys, my name is Jaden or Jay, whichever you prefer. Expression, interaction, and influence are all vocabulary used to describe socio-psychological theory. This theory uses cause and effect relationships to predict results when people communicate. One way to do this is by measuring variables through a series of surveys and controlled experiments. The example given in the textbook showed a survey done on college students to see if their college friendships would survive and still be strong after they've graduated. So the first vocabulary term is expression. Expression was shown in this survey by asking the students multiple questions to see how close they were at that exact time. They were asked when they became close friends, the similarities in their academic majors, and talking about self-disclosure. Interaction is the next vocab word. Interaction was shown to see how these current friends would respond to each other casually. The researchers had them play 2 rounds of the word game password. This was done in order to measure their communication efficiency. The last vocab word is influence. Influence was shown 19 years later when a good amount of these former students remained best friends. Results showed that those who were long-term best friends already had similar majors and higher password game scores remained friends 2 decades later. These 3 words are ways we communicate through socio-psychological theory.
Hi, I'm Morgan Espenan, and I'm going to continue with the socio-psychological tradition. And for the socio-psychological tradition, it theorizes that our interpersonal interactions and influences have an important role in our personalities, beliefs, values, and judgments. The believed result of these cause and effect relationships is in the way that we interact and in our core social values. This focus on the effect of our relationship appeals to the idea that our commonplaces are the focal point for our communication and personal expression. Therefore, our commonalities in our relationships will further affect our own desires, thoughts, and perceptions. For example, in the study done on college students and their friendships, researchers found that the best friends with the most similarities and interests had better and longer lasting relationships. This helps us better understand how and why the socio-psychological tradition appeals to meta-discursive commonplaces.
Interesting when challenges meta-discursive commonplaces such as the conviction that communication is always clear, purposeful, or understood by everybody. The tradition of sociopsychology is concerned with how people interpret information, develop attitudes, and either influence or be impacted by communication. It criticizes commonly held beliefs about communication, including fixed meaning, unidirectional impact, and the rationality of persuasion. When it critiques metadiscursive traditions, the socio-psychological tradition offers a more complex understanding of how communication functions, especially in persuasion, attitude modification, and social impact, by questioning these traditions.